ready to compete with the best in the world and possibly win medals and shine on a world stage. Coming up, we have 3 athletes that qualify for the World Championships in Korea, Daegu, South Korea. And we're hopeful Tabari is a favorite to win a medal. And we are hopeful that 2 other athletes would qualify for the World Championships. Leslie Murray in the 400-meter hurdles and Calvin Dasant in the 200. And so we have athletes at the highest level of world competition right now. Pan Am Games coming up in Mexico in October, and we look forward to that. And then let me congratulate those people who, and those Virgin Islanders who organized, and I give Senator Dow and Senator White credit for being involved in that tournament in St. Thomas that really demonstrated Virgin Islands pride and demonstrated how sports can really affect a community. Okay, we're moving on because there's several things I want to highlight. Yesterday, and this is important because I want you to be very aware of what's happening. Okay? Yesterday, there was a court, not a hearing, but appearances by both sides involved in the lawsuits filed by the unions against the government regarding the 8% reduction in pay to deal with the fiscal deficit. I was there. I was supposed to testify as to the reason why the legislature implemented the 8% cut and why that policy went into place at this time in the fiscal crisis. Naturally, there wasn't a hearing, but the attorneys met and they had filed motions, and a motion for TRO was denied. The hearing now is scheduled for Monday, and under the subpoena of the executive branch, I will testify as to the reasons why the legislature implemented this law. Naturally, and I want everyone to fully understand the dynamics of what's happening, it's a very serious issue, and the court will decide whether it's lawful or not. The court will take testimony and make its decision. And I want to, whichever side you may be coming down on the issue, there must be some modicum of respect for conflict resolution. And conflict resolution means that when 2 people have conflicting views on a particular issue and they can't resolve it themselves, any civilized society has a way to resolve conflicts. You don't resolve conflicts by fighting and trying to destroy or kill a person who disagrees with you. That is archaic. That's barbarian. That's when there was no law and order to humanity. Humanity has grown past that, or at least some of humanity, where conflict resolution is very, very important. And there are several methods that have been developed over the years to resolve conflicts in a civilized society and in a manner that brings about a fair result. Let me use that again. Fair and just result. So, This matter is in court. I will testify as to why the legislature implemented the 8% and how it came about, and the research and the data and the analysis we used. And the court will use that accordingly. However the court wants to use it, they're going to use it. The legislature right now the legislature is not to be fully involved with this process. We'll provide a written response, but we have done what we thought was right. And there's a community uproar about that. Rightfully so, because nobody wants to take a cut. But there's a way to resolve conflicts, and we have resorted to that. So let me leave that where that is. We'll come back to that. And we'll take calls. Anybody who wants to call and ask about the two issues that I raised, because we want to give you an opportunity to interact. Now, there's two other things that occurred that I want to address just briefly, because I don't think they're worthy of just discussion heavy on the show. One, of course, is I appeared at Rotary, and I want to thank Mr. Christian and the Rotarians for inviting me to speak at Rotary. It was a wonderful opportunity to interact. And that opportunity to interact, I think, led to a better understanding of the dynamics of the institution and how I, as a leader, have made decisions, and some of the decisions we face in the institution. But I want to say very clearly that people tend to mischaracterize stuff. And my appearance in Rotary was completely mischaracterized. And I just want to make it very clear that that is not how people should interact. You don't get on the radio and misrepresent conversations or dialogue in the context where one person who was involved don't have the opportunity to respond, or to just point out where people just wrong. And just let me say, if you want to know how I think, my rationale for things, why I make certain decisions, you could call me. Or you could come to my office anytime. I open. You could send me an email. I am, like most of the senators, very accessible and willing and ready to respond, to questions and or disagreements. So there's just the truth. The truth is the truth. The union changed their minds about agreeing with the 8%, and people could change their mind. And I'm asking some of the people who go on radio programs and misrepresent stuff. Don't do that. That don't help young people to have a better example of how to resolve conflicts. That don't help young people in how they're supposed to value the truth. It doesn't help young people in learning how to fit in a society that may have differences of opinion and differences in doing things.